Globally, up to 15% of standing crops or stored harvest is damaged by rodents. In sub-Saharan Africa, this figure goes up to 24%. In some regions of Ethiopia, rats and mice damage up to 46% of all the food grown. Across the whole country, these losses amount to more than $2 billion. Every year, an individual farmer loses anything between $105 and $230 per hectare, which is almost a fifth of her annual income. Besides, rodents cause injuries and carry around 60 kinds of vector diseases, such as the Hanta virus. The rodent problem in Ethiopia has grown rapidly over the last 30 years. Over that period, sustained watershed rehabilitation campaigns have helped restore landscapes and boost food production. So there have been more crops in the fields and more grain stored at homes and in silos, which is definitely a good thing. But this has also meant that there is more food to go around for rats and mice, who have thrived and multiplied. Available solutions include chemical rodenticides. The biggest disadvantage of chemical rodenticides is their harmful effects on the environment, especially on non-target species such as pets and livestock. On the other hand, rodents themselves develop immunity to them over time. Besides, chemical rodenticides are invariably not manufactured locally and therefore quite expensive. Also, their chemical composition is not optimized for local needs, and usage instructions are not in local languages, so they are not user-friendly. So there is a huge gap in Ethiopia's rural market, and indeed in rural markets across Africa, for a rodenticide that is effective, affordable, and without harmful effects on the environment and non-target species. With support from the Dutch Enterprise Agency, Meta, the Amhara Bureau of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mekelle University, and Debre Tabor University have developed a potential game changer, a prototype rodenticide made of botanical ingredients. Extensive field tests have shown that the rodenticide is effective in attracting and debilitating rodents with little to no effects on poultry and other non-target species. Chemical rodenticides are designed to instantly kill rodents. But rodents are smart animals. They can recognize baits that have killed other rodents and do not go back to them. So rather than try and kill rodents, this bio-rodenticide sickens them and they die eventually, or it makes them infertile. This way it leads to a sustained drop in the number of rodents. The bio-rodenticide is made of botanical ingredients, which are complex mixtures made of scores of chemical compounds. This makes them volatile, which means that their chemical characteristics keep changing. So rodents are not able to develop resistance to it like they do to chemical rodenticides. The bio-rodenticide fits right into the Ethiopian market, not just because it is responding to the rodent problem and the demand for a good rodenticide. It has involved potential customers, farmers, in the product development stage. The business of the bio-rodenticide will engage local women-led businesses all along the value chain, from cultivating the ingredients to production and marketing. In the year 2020, the bio-rodenticide will be produced and marketed by 20 women-led enterprises in 100 watersheds in Ethiopia's Amhara region. By engaging the market base like this, we make sure that the product responds perfectly to local needs, that it is sold at a price that customers are willing to pay, and that the production and sale have an overall positive effect on the local economy. A direct feedback loop with customers will also make sure that the product can adapt to changing needs in the future. The bio-rodenticide will be offered as part of a larger ecologically based rodent management package. This will involve providing advisory and support to farmers on other measures that they can take to minimize rodent damage at their homes, and in their fields and grazing land. EBRM hinges on three key principles: adopting a range of measures addressing various aspects and levels of rodent infestation, working together as a community, because if rodent control measures are taken only by a few, only in parts of a watershed or a landscape, rodents can escape to another part. Timing. Permanent dent in rodent population can only be made if communal rodent control campaigns are carried out at the right time. The right time is during the dry season, just before the rains. This is just before the rodents have started breeding, so their population is at its lowest. Also part of EBRM is training of farmers on rodent movement and behavior, and sensitization and awareness regarding the scale of the rodent problem. It is essential to offer EBRM along with the Bio-Rodenticide as a package. One cannot go without the other. There is evidence that shows that the strategy of engaging farmers throughout the product development process and throughout the value chain will be effective. As part of the feasibility study and in the prototype development stage, 15 watershed committees in 3 Woredas in Amhara regional state have been trained in EBRM activities. They represent around 3,500 households over 9,000 hectares. A number of EBRM campaigns have been carried out in the region. Hundreds have participated, created a lot of awareness, and eliminated thousands of rodents in field campaigns. The Bio-Rodenticide is not just a product tapping a demand in the rural market and helping some entrepreneurs make money and create jobs. Together with the EBRM package, it attacks a big roadblock on the path to food security. Imagine how much more food secure a smallholder farmer would be if by cutting crop losses to rodents, he or she was able to boost their income by 25%. Imagine how much more food secure a country would be if by just managing rodent-related losses, it was able to boost its food reserves by 20 to 30%. And this is not just an opportunity waiting to be seized in Ethiopia, but in developing countries all over the world. So after rollout in Ethiopia, the Bio-Rodenticide and EBRM package will be introduced in rural markets across Africa and beyond.